Welcome back to The Perspective on Budi Desatu. I'm Blaise Hope. We're discussing Masalah Bumbu and India-Indonesia relations. We moved on to business, trade and investment with His Excellency Ambassador Gurjit Singh and the Chairman of Kadin, Surya Bambang Sulisto. We spoke about the general need for greater cooperation in the field. What specific policies do you want to see brought in, first part, Surya, to actually make this happen?
Well, I would like to see, more frequent contacts, between our both business communities. I think it's important because this lack of knowledge is really the reason why there is such a low, investment in terms, of when you compare it to other countries. But the other important thing I would like to probably stress is, I think the need to send more students to India. When you see how many students we have in Australia, for instance, or America, India is well proven, has an excellent education. You can see that a lot of the even Fortune 500 companies are now, headed by Indians. The World Bank, everywhere, the banking sectors, financial sectors, is all dominated by Indian. So I think we have been sort of neglected, and this is something that I think we should not, this is something that we regret, and we should not let this happen. And I think
not to take it lying down.
Exactly. So I think it's important that we make some real efforts to increase more contact and also open up more Indonesia to Indian investment, be it in education and health, we also need Indian technology, Indian doctors, to sort of train our doctors. So openness is very, very important. I think we should liberalize and make it more easy for our contact.
I agree with him. I think that is most important. And I think in Indonesia, we have been trying a three-tiered approach. One, to talk to Kadin at the apex level of private sector. The second, we are looking at Kadin's chapters in the regions. I have myself led India Business Forum delegations to several regions where we found hospitable environment and met with Kadin everywhere to see if B2B connects could be done. And the third area is that, the specialized associations, sectoral associations of Kadin, we have engaged with many of them when we bring in specialized business delegations. So we have tried to take it from a promotional level into a practical B2B. But we are still waiting for them to visit us. So as an embassy, we have now taken to inviting specific people or specific trade fairs in India. Say, come, we invite you, come and take a look. And maybe the word would spread.
So is this the beginning is this book the beginning of a drive?
I think it is certainly a beginning of a whole new ball game. Because in India, we have new programs called the Make in India, Digital India, Skill Development. And you'll see those themes are undercurrents in this. And as he rightly said about education. Now, we would like to have Indian, let's say a business school or a nursing school come to Indonesia, not by itself, but in collaboration. But investment laws over here are not conducive to letting such things happen. So that's why there is no foreign university which can operate here even because of the law. So this is where we have been talking to BKPM to look at the laws. And we are telling them not generally that your laws are bad. No. We say this sector, pharmaceutical, beef, and education are three sectors we want them to take a look and see how the law can become investor friendly. To Indonesia's advantage, no doubt, but investor friendly.
Well, right now there's a spirit of deregulation with the new economic policy package. Do you see that as part of it?
Yes, and I think the government also is working very closely with the private sectors now. We're giving a lot of inputs on areas that we consider could be impediments to business, So we are also open to any suggestions if there is any particular issues that might, sort of be an obstacle. Please let us know. We would be happy to clear this with the government, give them this input. So, yes.
Yeah. For instance, let me say that on the question of skill development.
Okay.
Now we set up a vocational training center in Banda Aceh, which trains people to become construction engineers. Now that is a kind of a model center. Now we think that is something that Indonesia could pick up and do more of that in different places.
The transfer of knowledge.
Transfer of knowledge, but you do it your way, and you train people for industries you feel are relevant to you. It's only an idea that we are trying to share.
Vocational schools, I think. I agree totally with the ambassadors. Not necessarily have to be universities. In fact, vocational schools are very important to us.
Just avenues that bring people together and bring the knowledge across.
Same with IT. Indian IT companies are ready to take interns and hopefully employ them later. Because the Indian investment model is not to bring in Indians, but to bring in Indian capital, technology, and experience, and bring in as few Indians as possible. So we are very proud that the Indian companies who operate in Indonesia have actually created about 250,000 jobs for Indonesians over here. And there are hardly 6,000 Indians who work here with work permits. So that is the model that we are trying to promote. And we hope that is recognized over here. And that is part of what we are trying to do through this book, to understand that our model is not that if we bring in investment, we bring in human resources. No, we believe Indonesia has great human resources. We just need to tweak them to meet the demands of the modern investor.
Great. And on that note, we will go to break, but join us after the break and we'll continue discussing Masala Bumbu.